Fellow Toastmasters, if it isn't broke, don't fix it. Now that's a mantra that I've been living by either purposefully or by accident for about my entire life. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about how that's gone, how that mantra has played into my turbulent history in public speaking. Because you see, way back when, I thought I was a pretty good public speaker. And I could tell you just when the delusion started. It was Mr. Park's class, 6th grade. I was supposed to give an introductory speech to tell the class a little bit about myself. So little 6th grade Janet, who was just a little shorter than she is now with her 6th grade note cards, gets to the front of the class and she begins. Hello, my name is Janet Krenn. I live with my mother, my father, my grandmother, and an ugly, evil alien who claims to be my brother. And they laughed. They laughed at my joke. I wasn't even popular with the kids in that class, and they were laughing at my joke. And of course, this led to the only rational and obvious conclusion that could be drawn, that I must be the greatest public speaker in the world. And of course, you set yourself up so high, you have a long way to fall. Fast forward to college, Speech Communications 101. And I'm getting C's on my speeches. I ask the TA what's going on. She says I talk way too fast and I don't make eye contact with my audience. But don't worry, she tells me. The next speech is a how-to speech. Pick something you already know how to do and work on these other things. Well, that's perfect, I say. I'll do how to sew a button. It would help, she tells me, if you don't choose something quite so boring. So, joke was on her. I thought how to balance a chemical equation would make a more interesting topic. And she gave me a D. But eventually they let me graduate, so don't worry about that. Fast forward, after college, I gave a toast at for my cousin's wedding, and I was heckled by my family. I'm talking big Italian family. I have 14 first cousins, they're married, their kids are in high school. My mom was heckling me. And I have to say, my dad, God bless him, fell asleep during that 8 minutes in the middle and kind of missed his chance to jump in the fray. Fast forward a couple years later, I rise to give the toast at my grandmother's 90th birthday party, and I actually end an almost okay performance with, here's to 90 years and 90 more. Well, after that, I was losing some confidence in my public speaking capabilities. I essentially went from public speaking queen to public speaking pauper. And when a couple of my friends had asked me to give toasts at their weddings, after that last speech, I turned them down. I told them no. And it made me really upset that I had to do that. But I couldn't bring myself to go up there and give another speech at that point. A couple years ago, my best friend from high school called me on the night she was proposed to. And she said, Janet, I want you to be the maid of honor in my wedding. I'm not inviting anyone else into the wedding party. And this was a huge deal. I have a very charismatic best friend. She's got tons of friends. She's been standing up in dozens of weddings. And she upset a lot of people, telling them that they were not allowed to be in her wedding party. So that was the push I needed. And I knew I needed to do something to start practicing my public speaking skills, because clearly I was not the natural I once thought I was. So at the time I was living in Boulder, Colorado, I joined a Toastmasters club out there. And I am pleased to say that after just 4 months of observing other Toastmasters and giving 2 speeches, I gave a phenomenal performance at my friend's wedding. Well, I don't live in sunny Boulder, Colorado anymore. I've moved to Newport News. And during that move, I started debating with myself whether I should keep up this Toastmasters journey that I started on. One part of me, the nice lazy part that ordered cheese sticks tonight, probably the same one, was saying, Janet, come on, you've already accomplished your short-term goals. Why don't you take up something different? You know, practice something new. Why not try macrame? But then I got to thinking about where I want to be professionally and where I want to be personally. I don't want to be the person that can't stand up and give a toast when one of my good friends gets married. And I don't want to be one of the people that can't stand up if, God forbid, somebody in my family passes away and I'm asked to give the eulogy, which I've been asked to give in between everything else. So finally I was arguing, and in the end I said, self, there's a lot of, self, if it isn't broke, don't fix it. And stick with Toastmasters because it's been working really well for you. Thank you very much.